Moving to SAP S/4HANA Public Cloud is a strict architectural declaration. It means your core enterprise resource planning system will be locked. For decades, in legacy on-premise deployments, organizations embedded specific tax logic directly into the ERP. Developers wrote custom ABAP code, built specialized tables, and hard-coded country-specific compliance rules deep within the system's architecture. S/4HANA Public Edition eliminates that practice through a technical constraint called Clean Core. All external code and country-specific configurations are forcibly evicted from the system of record. There is no developer access to the core. You cannot create custom tables. You cannot write C programs. You cannot embed local tax rules. The platform physically rejects these modifications. SAP enforces this boundary through a mandatory quarterly schedule. The system updates on SAP's timeline, and any unauthorized customizations attempting to cling to the core are wiped out. This means a cloud migration requires an immediate operational redesign. The decision of where your tax logic lives has been made for you. It must be externalized. If compliance logic cannot live in the ERP, the organization faces an immediate structural problem. Continuous transaction controls and e-invoicing mandates across 50 distinct global jurisdictions require a dedicated operating space. SAP designates the Business Technology Platform, or BTP, as the environment for everything that the Clean Core cannot contain. BTP functions as a multi-component orchestration engine, housing the data streaming, integration, and analytical tools that the core ERP has externalized. Architects who view this solely as a routing exercise will build brittle infrastructure. When a new regulatory mandate activates, a poorly designed external layer will fail under the weight of manual coding and testing requirements. To build a governable compliance stack, we have to track a standard financial transaction. It starts in the S/4HANA core when a user posts a sales order. The moment that order is created, the system triggers the first BTP component, SAP Event Mesh. This establishes an asynchronous, event-driven flow. Transaction data moves in real time, bypassing traditional batch processing and freeing the ERP to operate without delay. Those event streams are routed into SAP Integration Suite. This acts as the canonical bridge between SAP and the outside world. Inside, raw data undergoes normalization. The system strips away internal idiosyncrasies, producing a uniform, canonical format for downstream systems. Warning tone. This is where organizations frequently trap themselves. Developers often try to code country-specific XML transformations directly inside these integration workflows. Embedding compliance logic in the integration layer creates a system that breaks during routine regulatory updates. When a schema alters, the integration fails, stopping data flow. The integration suite must be protected from tax logic. Its only job is to deliver pristine, standardized transaction data to the specialized compliance layer. Once the data is normalized, it leaves the SAP environment. The architecture hands the canonical data over to a platform built specifically for regulatory demands. SAP's native document and reporting compliance tool covers specific jurisdictions, but its update cycles are tied to SAP release schedules. Governments update their mandates on their own timelines, creating a dangerous lag. An external compliance platform solves this mismatch. It receives standardized data and applies up-to-the-minute e-reporting schemas, routing submissions to correct authorities. When cleared, the platform fires a success event back to SAP Event Mesh, updating the transaction with full legal clearance. Decoupling this layer insulates your clean S/4HANA core from the chaos of managing overlapping, constantly shifting mandates across 150 independent tax jurisdictions. The cleared transaction events and standardized canonical data now need a permanent location to pool and be analyzed. They route into SAP HANA Cloud. This analytical layer serves as the single source of truth. BTP relies on a zero-copy architecture here. Analytical systems query data in its native context without batch extraction, preserving the semantic integrity of financial records. Because the data is clean and stationary, SAP AI Core can lock in directly above it. This acts as the enterprise intelligence hub, enforcing the Layer 4 exclusivity principle. AI systems only consume standardized data from the HANA Cloud Analytical layer. AI models are blocked from accessing raw S/4HANA operational tables directly. Raw ERP tables contain unstandardized inputs that degrade model accuracy and produce hallucinations. Enforcing this strict data governance layer ensures the AI operates solely on validated canonical inputs, making its outputs highly accurate. By externalizing tax logic and enforcing a strict canonical data flow for compliance, the architecture establishes the clean data foundation necessary for autonomous financial AI. With the BTP infrastructure in place and the data governance secured, the organization can deploy specialized AI models. SAP calls this an Internet of Agents. A validation agent instantly compares incoming S/4HANA postings against canonical standards. Simultaneously, a reconciliation agent matches intercompany events, resolving mismatched positions immediately. Finally, a VAT agent models global tax exposure in real time, triggering automated filing actions when threshold optimizations are met. These continuous autonomous actions replace the traditional month-end sprint, where human controllers previously spent weeks manually aggregating and matching age data. The primary executive hesitation regarding autonomous finance is auditability. How do you trace a machine's decision? BTP's observability infrastructure logs every autonomous action with cryptographic verification. When an auditor asks who made a specific posting, the architecture provides a precise, time-stamped log displaying the exact AI agent ID, the canonical data it used, and the rule it applied. If an anomaly falls outside defined parameters, the architecture halts the automated process and routes the exception directly to a human controller for judgment. An agentic finance stack built on canonical data is completely transparent. Every decision is documented, traceable, and instantly auditable. When specialized agents reconcile and validate the financial position as transactions occur, the operational meaning of the close changes. Inside S/4HANA, the Universal Journal unifies financial accounting, management accounting, and analytics into a single ledger structure. Because agents continuously monitor this universal ledger through the BTP data flow, the close becomes the moment at which a continuously maintained position is formalized for statutory reporting, a formality rather than an ordeal. The CFO dashboard displays a consolidated multi-jurisdiction financial reality. Risk exposure, VAT positions, and cash flow are visible immediately, without the latency of period-end aggregation. The return on this architectural investment compounds. With a decoupled compliance layer and canonical bridge, adding new country mandates becomes a rapid configuration exercise. The RISE contract you sign today establishes your operating model for the next decade. If you construct your SAP BTP architecture with a clean core and a decoupled intelligence stack now, you build a scalable financial platform. If you ignore where your tax logic lives, you lock your organization into years of reactive scaling failures.